Hello, my name is Monica and I'm going to travel online. Today I'm flying to England to meet my friend Marta and her husband Richard. They are wonderful people with an amazing story. Just sit and watch. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Finally, I'm flying to England. I will see my friends. Wonderful. Hello, it's really nice to meet you, Richard.
Nice to meet you too.
It's going to be very short interview. I know that Marta was working for the whole day, so I don't want to make her tired. I will steal you only 10 minutes of your life, so don't worry. So first of all, I would like you to tell me about advantages of having Polish wife, Richard.
Okay.
Advantages.
Let's have a look at that. So,
Aren't any disadvantages. That's why I'm asking about advantages.
okay. Is that the next question? So, I suppose the advantages of having a Polish wife is I get to travel a lot, which is good. I get to go and visit places in Poland, which I love. I love the country of Poland. And we've been to 2 or 3 places in Poland. And it's great.
But you have never been in Kruszwica, the place where I live.
No.
So take it into consideration. You need to visit me next time.
Yeah, we will.
She's got a towel with the rats, mice, or whatever.
Mice.
I suppose I've been able to pick up and learn bits of the language. Not enough, Marta will tell you, but bits of the language I can certainly understand more than I can speak. And I suppose being introduced to different kinds of food. That's
which
been
you hate.
which some I like, some I don't.
Or you like bigos?
I don't like bigos.
You like cutlets?
Yeah.
Pierogi?
Yeah. Baked pierogi.
Yeah, baked pierogi.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. So
And that's it.
Yeah, that's probably about it. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you overcome cultural barriers in your relationship?
It was hard at the beginning, wasn't it?
It was, I think, because I mean, in the UK, we are, I suppose, much more used to being very independent as individuals, just generally, and from what I've kind of understood about the Polish culture is that certainly from a female's perspective, that wasn't what I experienced. So when we first were together, it was Marta wanted to be with me all of the time, and I didn't want that.
It's normal for Polish women.
Marta found it very
what hair
difficult.
should I wear, what underwear color I should wear, what clothes I should wear. He was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Just do what you want.
Yeah, and Marta found it very difficult because it was almost like she felt that I didn't care, but it was that's kind of just the difference between the culture here is in the sense that our expectation from a UK perspective or an English perspective is that a woman will do what they want to do and a man will do what he wants to do, but that's not what I experienced from what Marta kind of brought to my life. It was very, very difficult at the beginning, but ultimately Marta's kind of come to know what I'm like, I suppose.
And I like it now. I've got my life, my little life on the side.
Yeah, and it's about it was very important for me to teach Marta that it's okay to be independent, and it's okay to do things not with me, and it's okay for me to do things not with her. That was the kind of it took years really to kind of get through that, but
wow.
But
so she's a great student.
Yes, she has learned very well.
And bringing that was a challenge, the way we put many layers clothes on the children. They let the children half naked, all these things about bringing up Olivia when she was little, that was a bit of a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about you, Marta? Is it difficult to live in England for you?
Not now. As bad as it sounds, I do not miss Poland because I never lived in Poland as an adult. Obviously, I went to university. I left as a very young girl. So all I know, I've never really worked in Poland. So all I really know is the life here. So apart from not having the closest family with me and the closest friends, my life is here. So my boss at work and everybody else laughed that I'm the least Eastern European person they've ever met, because we watch English telly. I haven't got Polish telly at home. I only watch English telly. I read books in English because I found it easier. Majority of my friends is English speaking. Very little friends I've got who are Polish. Eat mainly English food. I've got my treats and stuff, but we mainly eat sort of British food.
Well, just I wouldn't say
Yeah, we both
we
enjoy.
don't eat traditional Polish food a lot.
Yeah.
We eat food, not necessarily just English food, but food from all over the world, really.
Yeah.
Don't we? We don't.
You know, there is no ziemniaki, kotlet, and surówka in our house. I don't think it's ever been.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Don't you miss
Whatever.
it? Is there a chance that you will move to Poland one day when you are retired, for example?
I would like to, but it's also going to be quite difficult because obviously Olivia going to have her life here. So that means leaving her behind, because I can see the reason why she would want to move to Poland. And if I'm honest with you, if I was to move somewhere, we're dreaming about the little house at Florida, don't we?
Yeah, I'd probably go to America if I was to go.
Yeah, we really would like to retire at Florida and just live there, have a nice weather. By the time I retire, I won't have any family in Poland, really. My sister lives here as well.
So you have your family here too. I mean,
Yeah.
there, not here.
Yeah.
But I am at your place now because this is a traveling online because of the lockdown. Yeah, so if I mentioned lockdown, what is the situation in England now?
So we've been under lockdown since the 23rd of March, I think, and it was only last week that they have eased the lockdown slightly. So before the beginning of last week, we were only allowed to go out for one period of exercise a day, and we were not allowed to go and see anybody outside of our household. Key workers who are effectively trying to keep the country going. So people, healthcare, food manufacture, those types of industries were allowed to go to work. But aside from that, everybody was told to stay at home. Shops were shut. Shops were closed.
They still are.
The only shops that were open were supermarkets. Some more shops are starting to open now. Because they've said we can now go and meet people, one other person from outside of our household in a public place, and we can start up some sporting activities, provide the socially distance from other people.
We can travel to destinations to go for a walk.
Yeah.
So we can go,
So, but it's still very, 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 very locked down at the moment. We're not likely to see any more easing of the rules until about the beginning of June. And then there's a third phase starting on the 4th of July. So they're taking a phased approach, but it's been difficult because, I mean, I've not seen my parents for about 8 weeks now.
Oh my God.
So that, I mean, and they live less than a mile away.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
really?
apart from that, normal, because we both working. Olivia still goes to school, so we as a family unit, as the three of us, we didn't really experience any of that.
Only the fact that we can't go and see our friends
out,
and all that sort of stuff. So I think normality during the week has been going to work and coming home. But the weekends are probably the worst, where you sit down and you think, I could be going somewhere now, I could be going to meet some friends, or and
Okay.
you just can't do it, or go and see my.
For sure, you miss your parents and you miss traveling. What else do you miss? Just taking into consideration the lockdown, of course.
Yeah,
Eating out.
I suppose
Going
actually
to the pub.
Yeah.
the biggest thing that
McDonald's, because it's shut.
the biggest thing that's probably affected me the most is being able to decide when and where I can go.
Shooting.
And yeah, I mean, I haven't. I do clay pigeon shooting, so I haven't done that for 8 weeks.
He
So
goes every Sunday during the season.
So you lose.
So
you
it's
lose
a lot.
You lose your hobbies and stuff like that. But it's being able to, or it's the government telling you can't go out basically, and you can't do things you want to do, and you lose your sense of freedom.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what is worse, I think, for everybody.
Wow, but you have an interesting hobby. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so I have it. Yeah, so I shoot clay pigeons. So I do it for our county. I attempted to get into the England team last year.
He's really good.
And missed out only slightly. But it's a very expensive hobby. But it's a hobby I do. And it just gives me some time to myself. And I do it with my dad as well. So with my father, and it kind of gives me some time with him as well, just us two. And I do it for maybe 3-4 hours on each of the days that I do it. But it's just something that it takes. It kind of gives me that element of freedom where I can go off and do what I want to do. But yeah, it's an interesting hobby. It's an unusual hobby. Not many people do it in the world, but yeah, I do enjoy it. It's nothing better than shooting a gun.
Oh my God. Okay. What about you, Marta? What do you do in your free time?
Shopping.
This is my favorite hobby.
Obviously we've got 2 dogs, so a lot of my free time is walking the dogs, playing with the dogs, looking after the dogs, school runs. My work is very demanding, so I work a lot. Weekends, if the weather is nice, they call me the good weather shooter, so we all go off together. We take the dogs with us, and we go shooting together. Richard goes off and does his competition. We and Olivia walk with the dogs, and then I've got a few rounds of shooting because I find it really, really interesting. Nothing really, reading a cheeky book here and there, but when have you got time for this?
Yeah.
So exactly. I do have a hobby as such, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we're quite simple beings, really. We don't go out and drink every weekend. We don't spend money on. Well, we do spend money. Marta spends a lot of money.
Richard as well. But yeah, we've got a very close group of friends. They are actually our sort of near enough next door neighbours, so we spend a lot of time together. Richard is very close with his mum and dad, so and they are very, very. You consider them as a good friends. So we spend a lot of time with them where we can. Having barbecues, especially in the summer. We love watching criminal programs, so every night, there was a criminal program going on, usually till the late hours at night, because we cannot stop watching it because we want to know what's going to happen next.
And then you're party and you don't want to go to bed.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. You're great people with great passion, and it was really nice to talk to you again. It was really nice to see you both.
Yeah, and you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.